They used to tell me I was building a dream with peace and glory ahead. Why should I be standing in line, just waiting for bread? Once in khaki suits, gee, we look swell, full of that Yankee doodly-dum. 500,000 boots went slogging through hell, and I was the kid with the drum. Say, don't you remember, they called me Al. It was Al all the time. Why don't you remember, I'm your pal. Say, buddy, can you spare a dime?
Okay, so we were in the car. Michael was driving. Jens was in the front seat. I can't remember who else was in the front seat. Paul was in the back, still temporarily insane, I think.
I was in the front seat as well.
Laughing with the other person, because he started laughing maniacally, Angela, and then Angela started laughing alongside.
Laughing and crying, which is just even more disturbing.
Yes, and you was bundle in the back of this, and then you decided to go to Jersey because she didn't want to go to the other place, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
The place that you're going to in Jersey is like a couple of hours, because if I'm right, it's about an hour to get to Jersey City, and then it's like an hour outside the city to the manor that is registered to Tillinghast. Michael's been paid, so he's like, hey, these weirdos are paying me like 2 weeks' wages for one trip. That's fine with me. Jens is probably sitting there in the front seat sweating and wondering what the fuck is going on. The equipment in the back is still kind of glowing and humming and ringing and spinning and just, you know, as if it's being moved by a force that you're not sure what it is that's causing it. And this is the situation you're in, and it's still Tuesday, it's still January, so it's freezing cold outside. The snow will get thicker as you leave the more populated area of the city. You know, the ground is icy and slushy. The car, I mean, I don't think they really had much in the way of stabilization at this point, so it's going to be a very bumpy ride, constantly biting your teeth and stuff like that. With all this equipment in the back rattling about, it's not going to be very comfortable. And the entire time, there is this high-pitched droning sound, ringing sound coming from the equipment, which just does not subside. Could everyone roll a stress test for me?
Just a 1d6?
Just 1d6.
Oh, fuck, Paul. Paul's not having a good time. Oh my god.
I mean, low or high doesn't... I mean, you actually kind of want to roll low. So if it's equal to or higher than your stress, you're going to take stress.
Great.
Just wondering, when I have got psychosis, when I hit 5 stress, I reduce it by 1 by taking one of the psychoses?
No, you took the psychosis as a result of hitting 5, and then you chose to score out one of your personal things, and that reset you to 0.
Cool. So, that's more than my stress, so I gain a stress.
Yep.
Yes, so I mean it's an uncomfortable atmosphere to say the least, crammed in here with this craziness. After 10 minutes or so, Paul, your temporary insanity will kind of I don't know if it would really come back to normal actually, because it's supposed to be when you get to somewhere that you feel safe. But if Angela's the one that's freaking you out, I mean, you're stuck in the car with her.
It might just be that I imagine what happens is just out of exhaustion, he passes out for a brief moment, and that kind of maybe like resets it kind of thing.
Sure. Her
like
laughter,
just out of sheer exhaustion.
Yeah, her laughter subsides and becomes just kind of like a soft weeping as you're like in the back of the car. She reaches a hand out to you, Rocky, you know, for comfort.
Yeah, I'll very just disturbed and just completely a fish out of water will just still take her hand and do his best, but like I'm sure like even if Angela could be convinced to calm down, like the fear on Rocky's own face is probably not gonna do much.
As you are kind of crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, and you're holding her hand comforter, she turns to Rocky in the darkness of the back of the truck, illuminated by this soft glow of the equipment, and she whispers to you, I remember.
Well, what do you remember?
Everything. When they took us, when they tied us up, when we saw that poor girl being cut open and that thing being taken out of her, and when they put it into Nancy and then myself, and she's like squeezing your hand very tightly at that point.
Yeah, I try to, squeeze it back. I know, sweetheart. We're gonna make everything all right. We're gonna fix you up, get it out of you safe as we can, and you and I are gonna go home, and this will all just be a really bad dream.
She nods softly, although she doesn't seem too convinced.
That's fair. Rocky's like half convinced himself. Isn't even half convinced.
I'm assuming no one else really has anything to ask or say, and this is a very quiet, subdued, tense journey.
Exactly, yes.
Yes.
As you go through Jersey City, the traffic gets quieter. It becomes more rural kind of looking. The snow is more evident everywhere. It is easily a couple of feet deep at this point. The sky overcast gets kind of like darker as you're like leaving to the edge of the city, and you pull up to a gas station at the very edge of Jersey City, or perhaps one of the towns outlying Jersey City. On your way to the manor, and Mike pulls in, because he has to fill up gas if they're going to go any further than this. Him and Jen seem more than eager to get out and stretch their legs for a minute despite the cold outside. The snow here is, it's disturbed because there's cars coming to and fro, but it's laid on very thick here. As Jens is kind of like sidling along the chair to get out, he looks at you, Gerta. He's like, ma'am, do you want to come with us? Stretch your legs, perhaps? And he kind of nods backwards to the people behind you.
Yeah, let's stretch the legs.
He goes around the back door and just like bangs on the door and opens it. Says, I don't know if any of you want to get out and get some fresh air. It's going to be a journey into the hills here.
Yeah, sure, I'll come with you.
I'm staying. Just hurry up, fill this thing up, and then everybody come back. We just need to get there as soon as possible.
Yeah, there's an attendant oh, sorry, you go.
Is there any like coffee stand or anything like that?
Yeah, there's like a kiosk, and you could go in and like ask them for a drink or something. I'm sure they could fix you up a coffee or something if you asked them.
Yeah, I just get like coffees for everyone.
There is, I don't know if coffees were actually as big at that point, were. I think they kind of were. Yeah, because the First World War, that's when they kind of kicked off. There's an attendant who's doing the pump, and Mike's just kind of standing there, smoking a cigarette right beside the pump, not caring, while he's talking to the guy. As you get out with the ends, Eric, there's a payphone on the far side of the building at the corner, and you can hear it ringing as you get out of the car, but nobody else seems to take notice of this.
Should I? I think I'll maybe go up and have a closer look, just to, satiate my curiosity.
Okay, you leave Jens standing there smoking a pipe by the edge of the truck, and he's kind of keeping his distance from Angela and that, because as he conveys to you, he's not too sure about these people. You walk over to the payphone and it's ringing, very, very loudly and insistently.
I think against my better judgment, I'll like pick up the receiver and put it to my ear just to see if I can hear anything.
You can hear a very staticky, crackling line, which might not be unusual considering where you are. And then you hear a very dry voice, and it sounds very familiar. It almost sounds like it might be one of your guys, like maybe Jens or Ollie. It's like, is someone there?
Hello?
Eric? Eric, is that you?
It's me. Who is this? The line's bad.
It's Jens. Eric, where are you?
We're outside Jersey. But you're here with us. How can you be on the phone if you're here?
You can see Jens just across the gas station at the standing next to the truck smoking his pipe. Well, I'm at the gas station. I walked down from the manor after I lost everyone.
After you lost everyone, what happened?
How did you get to the gas station? Did you walk?
We only just arrived here in the truck.
How is that possible? We all went to the manor together.
What happened? Did you go into the manor?
Yes, I went through the door. I can't get it open again, so I walked down to the gas station. But everything's so different.
Is anyone else there?
I don't think there's anyone with me, no. Something's following me. I managed to lose it in the woods.
Can you go inside the gas station? Is there anyone there other than you?
No, there's no one here, it's just me. Eric, if I walk back to the manor, can you meet me? Can you open the door for me?
We haven't been to the manor yet, but I'll leave the door open when we're there, sure. But yeah, and be careful. Something's not right here. I don't know what's going on.
All right, I'll try and make my way back to the manor to meet you. Just don't forget, I need you to open the door for me. It won't open from this side.
All right.
All right, I'm sorry, Eric. Thank you. It clicks and it hangs up. The phone just like goes dead line, and then it's just the dialing tone, and you can hear the operator saying, "Sir, hello, sir."
I'll just quickly hang up the phone again.
Jens just kind of like turns so he's facing you from across the lot and just gives you a hand wave.
I'll make my way back over to him and the others.
Takes his pipe out his mouth as you approach. What were you doing over there, Eric? Who were you calling?
Just checking in. It's nothing. It's fine.
Takes the pipe out his mouth after another draw. I'm not sure about your friends here, Eric. This woman, that something's not right with her.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of this situation myself. It's something's really weird is going on with. I think it's like something that's going to affect everyone in Tin City. I don't know what to make of any of this.
Everyone in the city? What are you talking about?
It's like how we keep finding, dead people in the water. I think this has got something to do with that.
When we get the money from this job, although I don't know how much we're going to get if we have to split it between everyone now, we should really make an effort to get home and just
Yeah.
leave this damn country.
Yeah, I think you're right.
We've been here
But
too
listen,
long.
if anything weird happens here, then I want you to take anything that I've got left and make sure everyone else gets home okay. I have a bad feeling about this.
Takes a silent couple of puffs of his pipe and he puts one hand on your shoulder. Everything's going to be fine, Eric, don't worry.
I hope so. I
Anyone?
hope so.
Coffee, anyone?
Sure, thank you.
Coffee, Paul?
Yeah.
Coffee, Rocky?
Yeah.
Angela's just like sat in the back. She's got her shoes taken off now, and she's pulled her knees up to her chest and just like huddled over trying to keep warm.
I got you a tea, dear. I give her a tea.
Thanks, hon, she says, takes it. And there's a moment when she's taking the cup from you where your fingers just touch slightly, and there's a spark of recognition within you, Gerta. You can see a man in an expensive blue suit with no face standing over someone on a table.
Was it a man with no face in a blue suit?
She looks at you and her eyes are kind of wide. And she nods. Yes, he was one of them.
Had I seen him before?
Your character should recognise the description of a man in a blue suit from the person you saw at the funeral and at the church before. The one that paid for the funeral.
That was the guy that paid for the funeral. He was in that same suit.
Yeah, she kind of looks at Rocky, looks back at Gerta, a little confused. Which funeral?
Sven's funeral. Eric, when we were at Sven's funeral, who was that guy again that paid for the funeral? The one that had the flashy cash.
Was it Henry Brill, his name?
You're going to make me read. Henry Brill, yes, you're correct.
It's him, Eric. He's the one that's doing it to people.
Have you seen him here? Or is he?
I've seen him in the image. I seen him off Angela.
Slow down. What do you mean you've seen him off Angela?
Angela also looks at you like, yeah, what do you mean?
I touched your hand when I gave you that cup of tea, and I got a flashback of the man, and then he had no face.
And she looks at you and she's like, yeah, there was 3 men without faces, at least. But I don't remember a suit or a blue suit.
He paid for Sven's funeral. Eric, do you know? Can we phone Father? The father guy from
Hans.
the church. Yeah, Hans. I'll phone Hans.
I think it's Kruger. Father Kruger was his name.
Yeah. Father Kruger. I'll phone Hans or Father Kruger. Does anyone have a quarter?
Oh, it wouldn't.
Sure.
It wouldn't have been a quarter back then. It would have been
okay.
like
Okay.
pennies or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nickels.
Does anyone have some nickels?
Yeah, nickels.
Sure, I'll give you some loose change.
You go over to the payphone, Gerta, and you pick it up, and there's no dialing tone.
Is this out of order?
The guy that's in the kiosk, or the attendant perhaps, he'll yell over you, say, "Oh, miss, that thing's out of order, it's not working."
But you were on the phone, Eric.
Yeah, there's something is definitely wrong here. It seemed to be working, but I don't know. It's I got a message that didn't tie up with what's happening to us right now. It was like something that might happen in the future. I don't know how to explain it.
Angela throws her arms to the sides, kicks out her legs right into you, Rocky, and lets out a loud kind of sound as her body like lurches to one side, and she grabs her belly.
I'll try to not necessarily stop her, but I'm trying to stop her from hurting herself. Just trying to stop her from thrashing about too much.
She starts to go into fast breathing, so
We need to get her to Tillinghast if he can give us any assistance at all. I think he's our best chance. We'll need to hurry.
Does anyone have any smelling salts?
No, I definitely don't carry that shit around.
Would that be something that we would be able to buy at a gas station at this time? I mean,
gas station or maybe a store nearby. Yeah, I think it'd probably be like a little drugstore.
yeah, if there's something nearby that where we could buy it, then I'll volunteer to run over and get something.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a small town, it'll definitely have like a little drugstore. I think probably just across the street.
I'll just shout out out to the guy pumping the gas. How long do we have before we got a full tank?
Oh, you're all ready to go, mister.
Yeah, right. Fucking okay. Grab what you're gonna grab, but make it quick. We're ready. We gotta go now.
Angela,
I'll get smelling salts and maybe some kind of. Would I be able to get painkillers as well? Some kind of painkillers?
oh, listen, in the 30s, man, you could buy whatever you fucking wanted. If you want heroin, they have heroin.
Yeah,
for sure.
Heroin, cocaine.
Certainly,
Yeah,
like
or
heroin,
something.
morphine, stuff like that was like freely
Yeah, or
available.
something that calms down. There's probably something that that calms her down, like the smelling salts and something
Tobacco.
that's gonna.
A stiff drink. You got to remember, their understanding of what was good for you at that point was completely backwards.
Oh yeah.
And
this
if
is
you-
also radium and stuff was probably.
I was
about
going to
that
say,
time.
in a few years' time, they were like rubbing radium and stuff on their gums.
Yeah. Health standards were a little fucky back then.
I need to see when was radium. 1920s.
Yeah.
Radium toothpaste existed in the 1920s.
Oh, wow.
In every product, such as paints, toothpaste, clocks.
Kids' toys.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was fun, glowy stuff.
Yeah.
That's where the term healthy glow comes from.
Yeah. So, yes, I mean, you can get your hands on whatever you kind of want in the drugstore. Pretty much.
Sure, I'll probably just buy tranquilizers. I'll maybe refrain from the really hard stuff. I mean,
Well, I mean, if you're not a doctor, how do you know what's the really hard stuff?
well, I guess with having been on the seas for a while, I would have not really in-depth knowledge, but some knowledge of first aid. I would probably know a little bit about what to get.
You're going to probably want something that's just going to knock her out for a few hours.
Well, I mean, that might not be good. But I think you'd probably know heroin and morphine are very addictive substances because people can recognise that. And heroin is very much associated with the Chinese still at this point, opium dens and things like that. And if you were in part of the Holmes community, you'd probably have seen some of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably just buy like some kind of tranquilizers, I guess.
Ketamine,
I keep trying to
something
think
like
if there was. Yeah, I mean, I keep trying to think like whether there were doing an equivalent of quaaludes, but I think that was like the 50s or the 60s they came in.
Yeah, the more sort of refined synthetic ones weren't until later on when the chemistry evolved. Sure, but some tranquilizers, some smelling salts, probably more tobacco in case you run out.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have the essentials.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you could probably get all that for not more than a couple of bucks. I can imagine it's pretty cheap stuff because it's like
And
everyday use.
probably a sort of one of those sort of wet cloth things as well for her head.
Wait,
Oh,
clothing.
like a compress.
I think so.
Yeah, you should be able to get something like that as well. Rocky, yeah, I mean, she is getting like agitated and she's looking at Rocky, this is. I don't think this likes this. And all the equipment around you kind of like flares up, and it's how intense the glow is before it kind of like goes back down again, and it almost like pulsates in rhythm.
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't like this. But we're gonna get it out of you, and I don't much care what it likes after that.
How are we going to get it out, Rocky? I saw how they took it out. I don't want that.
I don't know. I don't know, sweetheart. I really don't. But we're gonna get through this. You're gonna be fine. We'll get it out of you. You'll be fine, and we're just gonna put this whole nightmare behind us. I promise.
Gives you a very deep look into the face and runs her hand inside your face and tells you that she loves you. And as she does that, you just see something sort of squirm a little bit within her eye.
No. Don't start. Don't do that. We're gonna be fine.
She just like closes her eyes and nuzzles her head into the crook of your elbow.
Yeah, Rocky is like very visibly in the process of just breaking down because he knows what's about to happen, but he's trying his best to just deny this reality.
Do you want to roll the stress dice again then to see if your stress increases?
Sure. Oh my god, it does. Okay, well, hold on. The stress test, the stress goes up if it like meets my current stress, or
if it's equal to or greater than your current stress, it increases.
Yeah, that meets it. So I'm now at 3.
Would Gerta know any doctors that, in her line of work?
I mean, you might have a passing familiarity with some of the doctors that attend people when you're doing your outreach programs and stuff like that.
I wonder if, whereabouts are we now?
Well, you're on the outskirts of Jersey City, so you're like an hour, 90 minutes away from New York City.
So do you think she would maybe know anybody that could just...
I think it's highly unlikely you know anyone locally. I mean, if you really want to, you could ask. They'll have a local doctor, if you want to ask.
Yeah, let's ask for a local doctor and just see,
While Eric's over at the drugstore, you want to go into the kiosk guy or the attendant and ask them, is there a local doctor?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask.
Sure, you ask the attendant, and he says, well, folks around here use Dr. Birmingham. He's got an office just down the street here.
Okay. I think we take her down the street to Dr. Birmingham and see if he can do anything. He might be able to get this thing out of her. You just don't know. We're all here and we've witnessed. And then if he sees our, stomach, he might be able to help.
I don't care what we do. It needs to happen fast. It needs to happen now.
Okay, well, let's do that. It's only down the street, so let's go.
So Michael turns around. So we're turning around to this doctor's. You don't want to go to the other destination right now?
We are going to go to the other destination, but we just need to go to the doctor's to see if they can do anything for her just now.
He sighs and he's like, all right, it's your dollar, and starts up the engine. Turns the car around, takes it up, a few houses down the street to where it indicated, and there's a little sign outside the house that says, doctor surgery.
Paul, can you take Angela, help, Rocky with Angela? And I'll rush in. And I'll rush in and get Dr. Birmingham.
You run in, there's a nurse sat at a counter. There's an old lady sat in a chair beside her. In a kind of waiting room area at the front of the house. They've maybe turned their living room into like a makeshift doctor surgery.
Hello there. We need emergency help. Can we speak to Dr. Birmingham just now, please? My friend is what's called in a lot of pain.
Nurse, can tell you look kind of worried, and she shouts, "John, John!" And this man with sort of thinning hair, not balding but thinning, and very neat spectacles, and he's very slender looking with a large head, and he pokes his head out with the stethoscope around his neck, and it's like, yes, dear, what's wrong? This woman says she's in some distress. There's an emergency. Comes over to you, Gerta. What seems to be the matter?
Yeah, what's called, we can explain when we get her in. She's in a bit of bad state. Is there a room that has like a bed or something, a wee sort of bed that we can put her on?
Yes, of course. I'll clean an area. What's happened to her? Has been an accident?
Well, something like that. We'll explain when she's lying down. I don't want to frighten her.
Well, perhaps I should come inspect her before you move her in case it causes more damage.
And no, I think the bed thing might be the best situation to have that first, and then you can examine her in the bed. Please, doctor. I think she just needs to lie down.
Okay, Margaret motions at the nurse. Go outside and tend to the women, see what the situation is. I'll prepare the bed. So the nurse follows you outside. She's again quite a thin woman with dark hair. Looks sort of like late 30s. Typical nurse kind of apron overalls on, and she follows you out to the car. Angela is panting, but she's not convulsing or retching or anything like that now. She's calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, Rocky's just kind of like holding her and just cradling her as best, like just clinging as desperately as he can to hope.
All the equipment is still sort of glowing, pulsating, ringing, and as the nurse comes out, she's like, "What is that racket?"
And it's machinery.
She just gives you a look as if that's supposed to explain anything. And then like comes up to the back of the truck and sees Angela and she's like, "Oh, dear, my name's Margaret. I'm a nurse. What's wrong with you?" And Angela,
we really don't have time to explain. She's got like a parasite or something inside of her that is hurting her.
okay. You boys want to bring her through?
Yeah. I'll try to lift up Angela.
Help Rourke with it as best as Paul can in a
As you-
terrified state.
As you kind of like pick her up, she's very light and weak. She looks, dehydrated, malnourished, increasingly so, even just in the last couple of hours. And the nurse is talking to her as you're taking her into the building. Have you eaten anything? Have you been anywhere foreign? Have you came into contact with like an animal carcass or something like that? Like, how have you contracted this parasite that you think it is? What are the symptoms? What's wrong with you? Can you describe to me what you're feeling just now? And Angela just throws you a look, Rocky, like, should I tell her what's happening?
We really aren't sure exactly how it happened, but she's, trying to spin it in a way that doesn't make us sound crazy, but also still trying to be as truthful as possible. Which is a very delicate balance.
Matter of factly,
It's like a black worm or something that's inside her. We saw this happening to some people in the town that some people stay in, and I think it must have been from like the drinking water or something like that.
Right. Paul and Rourke, how are you holding Angela?
I mean, I've probably got like the upper half of Angela, trying to like, but at the same time, Paul's the bigger guy.
So arms and legs.
Are we trying to do like, as in like one of us on either side, and we're just carrying her like arm and a leg each, or is it one of us on legs?
Are you actually carrying her? Just got like her arms over your shoulders kind of thing and pulling her along? Like, I'm just trying to visualize it.
I would have thought like arm over the shoulder, because I don't know if she's like light enough for us to carry her.
I mean, you're a big guy, Paul. You could probably carry her on your own if you wanted to. But obviously, Rourke wants to be involved in this.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky wants to be involved, but at the same time, it's like, if the bigger guy can easily just carry his wife, then Rocky's not going to be like, no, I insist on at least helping, trying to carry her, but like,
Not to creep you out, but it's important to know where you're touching her.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I think the shoulder, like each of us has an arm in carrying her.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've got her arm like over your shoulder and your arm around her shoulder holding her that way. Okay, either side of you. Alright, so either of you have got her arm kind of over the back of your neck, they're draped over you. And as you're like taking her into the house, you can both feel like the length of something as if it's like under her sleeve there, under her armpit, stretching across the upper part of her arm. You can feel it across the back of your neck, and you can both feel it squirm.
It's just muscle. It's just muscle. It's just muscle.
Yep. Nope. Just full on denial. Like, nope. I'm not feeling that.
Dr. Birmingham, have you got like parasitic like medication, or anything like that?
Well, I have medication. I'm sure we can procure medication if there's like a bad case of worms or something similar, or a tapeworm. But let's just see what we're dealing with here. So you said Margaret here says that she was drinking some contaminated water.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a sort of watery black worm.
Right, and you've physically seen this same parasite that you think is affecting her just now.
Yes.
Okay, well these things
on her eye.
These things are rarely an emergency, especially the early stages, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Let's just set her down here and we'll have a look at her. Just lie her out in the bed, and she's like sweating, and her breathing is becoming a little more kind of normalised and lower. She's still like holding on to you really tightly, Rocky, and the doctor just starts giving an examination of her eye, ears, mouth. He checks her pulse, takes her temperature, and he's just asking her what's wrong. And she says, there's just that. There's a parasite inside me. I had really sore abdominal pains, torso pains. And he looks a little concerned there. He's like, okay, miss. Perhaps these other people would like to leave. Sir, I'm assuming you're a husband or a relative of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Husband.
Oh, sure. Well, you can stay here. What's your name? Sorry.
Rocky, just please, doctor. I'm very concerned.
Oh, okay, Rocky. It's going to be fine here. And you're Angela, right? Yes. Okay. Yes, Margaret. If you could take everyone out into the waiting room, perhaps. Give us some space here, and the nurse is going to try to take all of you out into the other room. The doctor sits down on a little stool beside the bed, takes her hand, and he's just like pulls back her top. He's like, I'm just going to examine the area that you say is painful, Angela. Just nothing to be worried about here. He pulls it back, Rocky, and as he pulls back, and you can see her exposed belly, you can see that there is a very defined shape of something there beneath the skin. It's fairly broad. It's not the full width of the abdomen, but it seems to stretch from the belly like right up the chest towards her breasts. And that's where you stop pulling her top up to examine. You can see it looks like it's stretching downwards towards her crotch as well. And it seems fairly like rigid, and he's like touching it, and when he touches it, it does squirm just a little bit, as if it's maybe like a gel kind of substance. So that doesn't look right. Tell me, Angela, is this painful when he's prodding it? And she's like, no, I can't feel anything. Okay. So this perhaps is some kind of localized swelling from the... It doesn't seem to be any bruising or bleeding going on. There's no discoloration of the skin, although your skin does seem to be quite dried out and flaky. So how long has she been like this, Mr. Rocky?
Just a couple hours, but she's been exposed for a couple of days.
Right. This is very unusual. Unprecedented, perhaps even. Angela, if you wouldn't mind taking the rest of your clothes off so we can observe this growth to see the extent.
Just as a note, Rocky is reaching into his coat and is got a very firm grip on his knife and is desperately missing his shotgun, but he's not doing anything other than just having it in his hand.
It takes off the rest of our top and bottoms, and you can see the full extent of this kind of growth beneath the skin. It stretches from the bottom of her neck right down her abdomen, almost in like a straight line. And then it kind of splits off in either direction towards her legs and ends at the top of her sort of inner thigh on either leg. And it ends in a sort of like pointed kind of shape. It almost looks like, like a root kind of shape going down
Jesus.
her. And then it goes up to her stops at her kind of the bottom of her neck, and then sort of like goes thinner and sort of disappears. At least it's not like under the surface of the skin right there. And then on either arm, it goes out under the armpit and sort of halfway along her upper arm, where it tapers off on either side again.
Jesus Christ.
So, well, this is... Yes, I'm afraid this is more than my knowledge extends, Angela, Rocky. I think we should admit her to a hospital as soon as possible. Perhaps there's a specialist that can identify what this growth is. I don't think you're in any immediate danger, Angela. You know, if it's not giving you any pain or discomfort right now. I don't see any discoloration or any indication of toxin or infection. Perhaps if it is a parasite, it's just something that needs to be flushed out your system. Perhaps a good stiff drink might help you kind of like, you know, calm down and get the toxins out. But you should definitely admit you to a hospital as soon as possible, I think.
Yeah. Thank you, Doctor. And Angela's not currently like groaning or grunting or.
No, the pain is like past, and it doesn't. As I mean, should be asked, and she says it doesn't really give me any discomfort or sensation. It's just occasionally it sort of retches almost, and at that point it's painful.
Right.
It's like a bad cramp right down her body, the way she describes it. So she'll put her clothes back on. The doctor starts writing you out like a report to give to the hospital. Says, right, I could call someone, you know, to come down here and pick her up and take her, but to the local Jersey hospital. Or you could take her there yourself. That might be quicker given the weather and everything.
Yeah, I think we'll just take her ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, take care. Just make sure she gets plenty of fluids and she's still eating. You know, give her a cigarette if she's getting panicky.
Yep.
So after, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, she's come out of the doctor's office and everyone's in the waiting room.
Did you get some parasitic medication?
Tillinghast now. And I've just tried to, as gentle as I can, very urgently get Angela back to the truck. And yeah, just no other Tillinghast. We're already like almost there. We just go. There's nothing that this can do.
Okay.
And Rocky is just shaking, just vibrating in place.
Jens, can you we need you to go quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we can tell Michael to step on it, but the roads, and you can see the roads now already, it's, you know, the snow is deep. The truck is going to struggle to get through that as you get deeper into the hills.
Just do whatever it takes. I don't care. We need to get to Tillinghast now.
Eric, you got the smelling salts, don't you, and the tranquilizers in case things go a bit rocky?
Yeah, I've got everything I could reasonably get, but yeah, I think probably the quicker we can get to see Tillinghast, the better. I just hope that he can help us.
So as you come outside towards the truck, Michael's standing there and he yells, he's like, the damn ringing stopped finally.
How long ago did it stop?
More or less when you left the truck.
All right, let's just. Yeah. I don't care whatever it takes. Get us to Tillinghast now.
All right, back aboard we go. He jumps back in the driver's seat. Jens slides him beside him. As you guys clamber in the back, the machinery starts to pick up again and show signs of life. Starts to ring and spin and hum and glow.
God, I really wish I knew if this was helping or hurting.
Yeah, Angela sort of like stops before she gets in the back. It seems reluctant to get in the back with that again. Can I ride up front, perhaps?
Yeah, no. Jens can hop in the back, and I'll sit in front with you.
I'll jump in the back. You sit in the front. It's fine.
So brave.
Michael gives her the side eye as she gets into the front seat. He doesn't look like he's too pleased about her being anywhere near him.
Just drive. The sooner you get us to where we're going, the sooner you can just leave.
Hey, mister, you pay me whatever you want. He's getting back of the truck and you take off again. The sky is now very dark. We're talking like late afternoon anyway, so it will be getting like nighttime soon. The kind of light snowfall that it began turns into this sort of like heavy slush that's just like pissing down. You can feel it just kind of like spattering off of the windscreen and the ceiling of the truck as you are driving along. The road is extremely bumpy and uneven. The snow gets extremely deep, and progress becomes like a snail's pace. If you've not eaten anything today, your stomach's going to be rumbling. You're feeling thirsty, you're all shivering and cold, and this constant ringing, droning sound that's going on, it's just like gyrating in the back of your skull and the edge of your teeth as you're driving along in the darkness. It's extremely uncomfortable. But after half an hour or so of this, maybe 40 minutes, Michael announces that you've reached a town. The town that the Tillinghast Manor is situated in. There ain't no streetlights here. Still dark outside. He's got the lamps on for the car, obviously. That's the only light there is outside. As you pass the houses, those of you in the front seat, the town looks deserted. There's no lights on. There's no signs of activity. Some of the front doors of the houses are lying wide open. The place is covered in snow. There's no tracks. There's no sign of vehicles being through here recently. The snow is at least 2 or 3 feet deep. And once it gets kind of into the middle of the high street, the car just stops.
Why did we stop?
I don't think we can go any further in the truck.
What do you mean? You filled the tank.
Yeah, but look at the snow. This thing isn't built for this. And look, and he points, and you can see just like the outline, like a silhouette on a hill of this large house. He says, I think that's it right up there. You can just walk the rest of the way. If there's anyone there, they can come down and help bring this shit up there.
Perhaps, maybe not all of us go to the house. Maybe like, Angela can't walk to the house. Maybe, Eric and Paul can come with me and we'll walk to the house.
No, we need to get her up there as soon as possible. I'll fucking carry her if I have to.
Is there anything like a sled or anything at the back of the truck?
No, you didn't bring a sled with you, no. There's just all these heavy braces.
Is there any wood or anything or rope that we can use?
I mean, there might be some binding.
Conveniently, beside the thing, there's a perfect sled.
So there might be some like binding rope used to hold some of the machinery together, because it's just big bits of brass and wood and stuff. So, I mean, you could get a length of rope from that, I imagine. It's not very good quality rope. I mean, it's the kind of stuff you use for, like, tying up a crate.
Yeah, I'm just thinking for the fact of getting Angela up there is there anything like, like a sheet or anything, like a plastic sheet or anything?
No, it didn't have plastic sheets.
Oh,
yeah. No, Rocky will actually take off his coat and give it to Angela, and she's just going to try to...
I mean, you can all see your breath at this point. It is freezing. It is well below zero here at this point.
Yeah, Rocky's essentially letting his fear and desperation kind of be the driving force at this stage. Like, he hasn't eaten, but he doesn't feel the hunger pains. All he feels is just sheer terror.
Is there, can we not, like, even shovel the snow?
So Michael, he's like, well, I'll stay here with the truck and I'll see if I can find someone to help dig us out. I mean, there must be someone in town here.
I think maybe we should try at one of the houses if we could even find like a chair that Angela sits on, and then we carry the chair between us.
Sure. Whatever gets us there faster.
I mean, the manor on the hill is not far away. You could probably, I mean, the snow's going to slow you down, but you could hump it there in 10 minutes or so easily, you think.
Okay, so it's not as far.
No, it's
as
not far away at all. It's like right next to the edge of the town here. It's just because it's dark and the snow is thick. But obviously, the snow actually makes it a little easier to see because it's bright.
Yeah. It's just gonna be a miserable 10 minutes.
So do you just want to go into try the houses, or do you want to go straight up there? But
Let's just go straight up there.
so Michael is going to stay behind because he's going to see if he can find someone to help get back out again. You all exit the truck into the soft snow, crunches beneath your feet. You know, sinks right up to your knees,
Oh god.
or perhaps a little more. It has not been disturbed in a long time here. So, if anyone is around, like, who knows how they're moving around without disturbing the snow like this. There's a couple of cars parked, trucks parked, also just covered in snow. There's just like no signs of life here, which is odd. And there's at least a dozen houses other than the mansion itself. Surrounding it is just thick woods, forests, trees, winter foliage. Obviously, they're bare and barren. And being night time, there's no sound of birds or anything like that. There's just the rustling in the trees or the wind. Probably not even that because there's no lack of leaves. And then the constant sleet and hail that's just falling. So you're just humping it up to the manor?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Waiting for
Yeah.
the snow.
Best try.
Unless something better or worse comes along.
An avalanche suddenly hits.
Mercy.
It's not much of a manor, is it?
Well, back then.
No, it's like a very large kind of farmhouse almost.
I was going to
Oh.
say it's more of a farmhouse.
I was gonna say there's 4 floors. There's easily a basement and then the creepy
yeah.
attic.
There's always a basement.
Yeah, there's always a basement.
Like the basement.
Check out the same music up.
I got a flashlight.
Yeah, so you can see where the shrubbery and stuff is. Normally, it's all just like covered in heavy snow. Again, there's no sign of tracks leading up to the place. There's no lights on. And as you approach, you can see that the twin front door on one side is just the door space. There's no door there. In fact, there's a stack of what may be doors lying outside the front porch covered in snow.
What? No. We came all this way. What's the actual guy's name that we were looking for?
Tillinghast.
You have the manifest that has his name on it. Or one of two of you had it too.
Let's check if they've got a phone in the house.
Yeah, Rocky's just gonna start screaming for, calling out the name Tillinghast.
The voice just echoes around the place, the hill, the trees. There's no reply. And you can easily walk in, as I said, there's no door there. It's just a doorway.
I'll at least try to get Angela inside.
Yeah, I mean, the snow extends in through the front entrance. And as you're stepping that, it kind of shifts underneath your feet. And there's just like a pile of mail that's been left here at the door place. That's kind of like covered in the snow, and a lot of it's sodden and frozen.
No.
And we
Can't be happening.
Can we do a check around the house because they might have vials or something, or any sort of books or something that has things?
Yeah, can I use scene analysis to figure out like what's going on here? What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, anyone's got like scene analysis or something similar can roll their dice to have a look around, look for clues. If you want, you could use your document analysis on some of the mail if you want, Gerta.
I
Yeah,
have seen
sure,
analysis.
I'd like to do that.
Take a second dice if you've got clever or learned.
I got clever.
Learned.
I'm charismatic. Can I convince the house to show me?
Well,
Can I use negotiation?
okay, Gerta, you start going through the mail that's on the floor. You pick some of it up, and you can see a lot of it's dated to about 6, 7, maybe as recent as 4 years ago.
Oh my god.
But
It's
there's
like 4 years old.
on
Yeah.
the desk there is one letter that's addressed to Mr. Paul Cummings.
Paul, this is for you.
Why are you telling me I've got a letter now? We were driving
There's-
all the way here. Why didn't you tell me on the way?
No, I found this letter on the table and it's for you.
And Paul just sort of quietly sort of looks at Gerta and sort of takes the letter and opens it up and unfolds it to look at it. Still convinced that she's the one that brought the letter. This is a bit weird.
You're studying the envelope before you open it, or you just turn it open?
Yeah. He'll probably like look to see if there's like a stamp or like a stamp mark or something on it.
Yeah, it's post-stamped February 22nd, 1944.
What?
As you're looking through the letters, Gerta, you notice that the letters that you found on this table that were stacked up neatly are all from different times as well. 66, 1955, 1988, is up to as late as 1999.
There's letters here that are up to 1999, guys. Look.
I mean, it's currently the year of our Lord 1930 something.
33.
Yeah, why? 1999 hasn't even been invented yet. What the fuck are you talking about?
Now start opening the letters.
Of course you can. Some of them are typed. Some of them are typed, and I don't know. I mean, it looks more like our modern type printed, which looks kind of odd to you because it's not typed in the way like you would see on a typewriter. Many of them are handwritten, different styles, and seem to be just like regular correspondence. People writing to their loved ones and friends to tell them about what they've been doing and, you know, when they can expect to see them again and how their vacation's been.
This is so bizarre. Is there any letters that stand out that are like scary?
I mean, the one that has Paul's name on it is the one that stands out to you because it's someone you recognise. The rest of them just seem very mundane, apart from the fact that the method of how they've been written or typed, some of them is modern to us and would seem odd to you in this time period. Besides that, there doesn't seem to be anything that strange about them, the content at least.
What else can we see in the room? Is there any other books or anything that we can see?
So Rocky got 6. Rocky, so the interior, between each room where you expect there to be doors, there are just doorways. All the doors have been taken out. Some of the screws are still lying on the floor where they've been removed. Except for one room, which seems to be a study of some sort. It has a wall with a door in it, and it doesn't really look like a doorway. It's as if someone's just stuck the door onto the wall. And on the opposite side of the wall, in the hallway, it's just solid wall, so it's not a doorway that passes through. And there is a back room that you can see into, which does not have a door. It's just a doorway, and it seems to be filled with beakers and like chemistry sets. And there is also a door under the stairs, which is locked.
So going back to that door that's just on the wall, like I can like swing it open and it's just nothing but wall, right?
Oh, you want to open it?
Well, since you worded it like that, DM, I guess I am going to try to open the door.
You touch the door handle, and I mean, this place is freezing cold because it's middle of winter. This door handle feels like warm, like body warm.
Like something's touched it recently warm?
Yeah.
And does the doorknob turn?
It turns quite easily. The door is on hinges against the wall, and you can pull it in an opening fashion.
I think Rocky, once he makes the connection that the door handle's warm and then turns easily, I think he just sort of holds it like that for a hot second. It's just like, yeah, that's weird, but so's like the past few days.
Sure. Eric, you're in there looking around with Yen. Did you roll? You didn't roll to look, did you?
No, I have document analysis, but no scene analysis, so I was thinking like maybe if I find anything else to look at, but I haven't rolled otherwise.
Right, okay. So you and Yen are kind of like, you end up in the same room as Rocky with this door that he's looking at. And, you know, there's bookshelves and the books are there and you're kind of like flicking through them. And the various medical journals, there's books on the sciences, physics. There's some books on something called metaphysics. Very definitely the house of someone educated, you can tell at least.
Can I try rolling on document analysis to see if there's anything that's been like read recently, or well, you know, like comparatively recently, like if there's anything that was like left out that's might be more noteworthy than the other books?
Well, document analysis would tell you if it's something there that doesn't like belong with the other documents.
Oh, okay. We'll try for that then, I guess. Is it 1d6 or?
1d6 for that, and then another if you have clever or learned.
I can't remember if I do. Just a second to check my sheet.
Paul, when you get this letter and you see the post stamp on it, what do you want to do?
I think Paul would probably just think it's just someone just written numbers down. Like, it's not actually from 1944, but he'll be curious enough to open it, to look in it.
So you open it up and you start to read it, and it is a letter addressed to you. It's from Gerta, and she's explained that her and Eric are saddened by the news that they recently heard, but unfortunately, because of circumstances and Eric's condition, they won't be able to travel for the funeral.
Okay, whoa.
It says, you know, they're very sad about Rocky's passing and that he deserved a better life with his wife instead of what had happened.
Sort of, you know, Paul sort of looks back to where sort of, you know, Gerta is and where Rocky went and looks over at Eric, looks at the letter. And if Gerta is nearby, probably says, Gerta, this is a very bizarre joke to play. And sort of like flashing the paper.
It's not me. I didn't send that.
Sort of, you know, like probably walks past Gerta, like shoving the letter into her chest kind of thing, is walking past to go and like find Rocky and find what he's doing because he doesn't want to be around Gerta because that was a very poor taste joke in his head.
So nobody brought flashlights, so you're also operating by like matches or lighters that you have.
Oh, I didn't send that letter. It's how can you explain the letters that are 1999, 1989, etc.?
Paul probably isn't responding. Like, he's just off trying to look for Rocky. He doesn't want anything to do with Gerta because he's just like, nope, this is a poor taste joke.
But Eric, would you take the letter and have a look at the letter?
Sure, I will take the letter and look at it.
Sure. So you pull out a pen, or procure a pen from one of the desks and ask her to sign her name, or to write something so you can compare the handwriting. And the handwriting in the signature does appear to be hers 100%. Other than that, the textbooks and stuff that they are, they don't really seem out of place. They're all fairly consistent as someone who's interested in the sciences, you would think. But there does seem to be a very worn textbook, which is to do with biochemistry.
Eric, I wouldn't write that letter. Honestly, I wouldn't write a letter like that. That's in poor taste. I'd never do that.
I believe you, but the handwriting, it's more or less an exact match.
Yen comes up behind you, Rocky, as you're still got your hand on the handle of this door, and puts his hand on your shoulder. Says, "Is there a problem with the door? Do you want me to open it for you?"
Whew, okay, sorry. I just had to step away for a second. That blew my fucking mind. Okay, back into character. Yeah, so Rocky's just kind of been, I think, really, he's basically unlatched the door already. He just hasn't, like, turned it, like opened it.
Pulled it, yeah.
But I think when Jens comes up, Rocky kind of just, kind of jumps for a second out of his little just daydream, just staring at the door handle. And then he just, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with this door. And then I'll open it fully.
Yeah, you open the door and what should be just like bare wood panel wall. You can see into the hallway on the other side. Now you can't, when you peer through it, you should be able to see that all of them standing in the hallway looking at this letter, but you don't see them.
Rocky doesn't step through it. In fact, he'll shout, he'll kind of call out through it, like, someone saying, like, "Hello, is anybody here?"
Yen kind of pushes past you. It's like, well, that's weird, and steps just like straight into that hole.
Wait, no.
The door slams shut behind him, catching you kind of off guard and jamming your finger.
Yeah, can I try to open the door one more time?
Sure. And it's just a bare wall.
Okay, Rocky steps away from this door. Jens? Jens, please tell me you're somewhere else in the house.
Eric, you can hear Rocky shouting for Jens, and you turn around and realise Jens isn't in the room with him anymore.
I'll pick up the textbook that seemed more thumbed than the others, but I'll go and try and find Rocky and ask what's happened.
I'm basically just pointing at what looks like just a blank ass door with a wall, because I've left the door open now, but it's just a wall there, and I'm just pointing at it, going, Jens went through the door, and then it's shut, and the door's not there anymore.
Mid-sentence, you both hear and then knock on the door.
Oh, the door that's open, technically?
The one that just closed on you, yeah. Now imagine you opened it and shut it again.
Oh, I figured I just left it, like, open, just staring at the blank wall and just stepped back. But yeah, I'll...
Okay, no, that's even better. The door is open, but you hear a knock on the wall.
Oh my god, no.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Can we try, like, knocking back on the wall to see if there's any response?
You step up, you knock on the wall. You're doing it hard, gentle, but...
Just kind of firmly, but not like super hard, I think.
Okay, it's a firm knock, and it feels like a solid wooden wall. Everybody standing in the hallway can hear it. And then there's a pause, and then there is a knock back.
This is super scary.
I'm gonna do something kind of just silly, just because I don't have the brain to think of anything better. I'll just do the whole like shave and a haircut knock, and then wait for the response.
And then you hear the double knock back in time.
Yeah, at that stage, I'll reach to close the door and then wait just a half second. And then just kind of like look at Eric and just to verify that, like, you're witnessing this, right?
Yeah, I'll probably look equally bemused and alarmed, but I think with having had that message from Jens on the phone earlier, I'll be wondering if it's got something to do with that.
Yeah, so when you close the door over again, you hear it's more like a scratching, a scrabbling of wood behind it. And then a frantic, not a knock this time, but like a palm slamming it against it repeatedly in a hurried fashion.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull my knife just fully out into view, and I'll open it and be ready to strike if something is unfriendly.
You open the door and Jens is there, covered in blood, half of his face just hanging off from tears. Yeah, his hair is all kind of like half pulled out, his clothes are all ragged, he's shivering with cold, his clothes are all like torn, and he just like falls through the doorway into the room with you both. And there's a cold gust of wind and a kind of chittering sound on it coming from the hallway beyond, which is very cold and dark.
And we just don't see anything through that door.
You can see the hallway on the other side.
But like, there's just nothing different than what we saw originally when Jens stepped through.
The stairs look as if they've been like smashed.
I think we should close the door.
Yeah, shutting the door and immediately go to Jens, be like, you're like, what happened?
Yeah, I'll try and like wrap my coat around and to like give him some kind of warmth if he's been like scratched all to hell.
He's wide-eyed, panting, bleeding profusely from all over his face. His teeth, his skin on his cheek has been completely torn away. You can see all the teeth and gum behind it.
I've got some like antiseptic in my bag and some bandages because.
As you kind of turn him on his side, he just looks up at you, Eric, and he's like, "The woods, so many."
Jens, what happened? What did this to you? This is.
I told you they were following me. I came back.
What followed you? Was it like some kind of a beast?
You know you've seen them. They were here when we were here before.
Jens, wait, like this is the first time we've been here. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, what are you talking about? We've been here before. I came back. I lost you and I came back.
No, Jens, you just walked through that door. I opened it just 2 seconds ago and you walked through and the door shut.
Like coughs and spits blood. No, I walked down to the gas station and I called you. It was hours ago.
Eric, have you got like some smelling salts and maybe.
Yeah, I'll offer. I'll get out the tranquilizers, and I think we should probably give something to help calm his nerves, and like maybe a drink if somebody's got like something.
He's like,
I think,
like holding his chest and just like obviously frozen to death. He's obviously on the well, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but he'd be on the edge of hypothermia.
I think we need to take him to the truck with Michael.
That was a well-timed thunder.
I can go with Jens, but what about Angela?
Yeah, Rocky is like, he definitely needs to just step away from this situation. He's got to go check on Angela.
Yeah, I think anyone whose character has felt unnerved by anything should roll a dice. for the stress.
I probably need to roll 2. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yay! More
Yeah,
stress.
that's me up.
At this stage, I might as well just not even roll.
There's the sound of glass smashing from the back room.
I am sprinting now to where I think Angela is, and if not, if she's not there, then to the back room.
Angela is still standing out on the front porch. She's not stepped inside the house.
What are you doing, Angela? It's really fucking cold out there. Like, it's cold in here, but like, you get out of the snow.
I don't want to go back.
What do you mean? That here?
We don't want to go back.
Just kind of squeeze the handle of my knife a little tighter.
Eric, I'm coming with you.
Who's we?
She tilts her head to look at you, and she's very soft, gentle, comforting kind of look in her face. What are you talking about, dear?
You're not Angela. Bring me.
Of course I'm
give me my
Angela.
wife back. I'm gonna hold up I'm not like anywhere near her, but I'm holding the knife out, like, threatening.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's standing there, hands by her sides, completely comfortable and at ease.
Let her go.
What are you talking about, Rocky?
I'll just scream out, just because I'm starting to lose it again. Just scream out, like, who are we? Who are you talking about?
We are Angela. Who else would we be?
No, you are something else in Angela.
Another sound of shattering glass from the back room.
Is there any way that I can kind of stay in line of sight with Angela and look into the back room?
Yeah, because there's no door on it. You could just look backwards in the hall.
Oh, right, I forget.
Yeah, I mean, it's dark back there. Against the slight light reflected from the snow outside on the rear windows, you can kind of see like the silhouettes in the room, the glass beakers and the chemistry stuff and all the rest of it. And another beaker like shatters, pops.
It just like explodes.
Yeah,
Anything kind of coming out, or
doesn't look like there is.
I guess I'll turn away from that and look back to Angela if she's still there.
She is not still there.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Everybody will see this at one point. A long, very thin pair of shadows, like long legs, much higher than the windows, kind of passes by the open windows.
Oh, that is no.
If that's scary, you should roll a stress test.
God, come on, man.
You guys in there with Yen in the room, you can see that. Even if you're not looking at the window, you'll see like the flicker of the shadow cast into the room as it passes by. It's almost like a huge pair of stilts walking by.
I'm too busy cleaning up the ends. I didn't see it.
Okay, so you'll see the cast of the shadow, but you're patching up Yen's. You pull back some of his frozen clothes, and they are like frozen and soaking wet. He has these long, thin, but very, very deep gouges. Is there something sharp and clawed? He's just like raked down his legs and his back at different angles. But the wounds are very deep, and he's bleeding a lot.
I squeeze Eric's arm to say, I don't think he's gonna make it. Like I'm looking at Eric, like, I'll patch him up, but I don't think he's gonna make it.
Yeah, I'll kind of. I'll try to look like I understand what Gert is saying.
What about you, Paul? What do you want to do?
Cry in a corner.
Same.
I don't think we can stay here. I don't think it's going to be safe for us. I don't know. I mean, do we want to try and find somewhere in the house that we can take some shelter, or do we want to try and get back to the truck?
I think we should get back to the truck.
This was all just a fucking trap. There's multiple floors to this house. I'm gonna try to search every room I can,
So
every door.
Okay, so you want to run upstairs and start looking around.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for Angela because she just fucking disappeared.
Run up to the first floor, or second floor if you're American. Again,
Yeah.
all the doors have been taken off their hinges, so you can look into studies and bathrooms and bedrooms. The furniture is all there.
Quick glances, like just very quick, just poking my head in and just like, yeah.
Yeah, there's like nothing. There's nothing. It's just furniture. A shadow of someone. Wait, was that a shadow of someone? You look back again, but there's no one in the room.
Okay, all right. God dang it.
I shout, check for books if there's any books.
And alcohol. Look for any alcohol.
You guys downstairs, you start to notice a very sweet, sickly, almost yeast-like kind of smell.
Paul would probably try to figure out where the smell's coming from.
Definitely seems to be stronger towards that door. Only the second door in the house that's underneath the stairs.
Just because I've hit 5 stress, I'm unstable.
Oh, Paul will try and open the door for under the stairs, see if Harry Potter's in.
So it has a padlock on it, but the padlock has not been closed. It's just looped through the latch. So you can easily just unhook that and then open the door.
You know, Paul slowly moves his hand up to the lock, holds it, and removes it.
The door just creaks open a few inches itself.
And probably using the padlock, you know, just like hook it up behind the door, pull it open.
There's a set of wooden steps that goes down to the right. It feels like warm, moist, humid air coming from down there.
I feel like it's the vaults again.
Paul staring
That's
down
pretty
the
good.
steps, and just immediately sees the stone like tunnel, the gouged tunnel, as it goes down the steps, like flashing before his eyes as he's looking.
You hold up, or perhaps you strike a match to get a better look inside, and the wall immediately opposite you on the narrow stairway, it's not a flat, smooth wall. It looks as if it's like masks, like poking out of the surface of the wall. And then when you hold the match up a little closer, they move and form expressions. And you realise that they're not masks, these are faces without eyes or tongues, like as part of the wall.
I'm not okay. Like,
You should
out
probably
of
roll
character.
stress dice for that one, Paul.
Yep. Fuck it. I'm gonna use one of my luck to reroll that one.
Well, your luck just bumps it from a 3 to a 4. Or if you want it to be less, it'd be from a 3 to a 2.
Ah, I need to burn 2 then. No, I'll keep it then. I'll keep it.
The faces, I mean, they don't make any noise. They don't have any vocal cords or mouths, or tongues rather. They don't have any eyes, but they're definitely making expressions, grimaces. And the whole wall, like all the way down the stairs, as far as you can see in this weak match light, seems to be covered in them.
I imagine it's one of those things, they're not actively moving as he's looking at them, but like as he looks down further and then he comes back, the face that was neutral is now a grimace as he's looking at it.
I was thinking they're actually like real faces moving in real time.
Oh god, so it's like Doom, it's just that moving morass of faces.
Okay, so you guys, you're still with Yen, and his heart's given up from lack of blood, and he's just dying in your arms at this point.
Have you got one of the tranquilizers? I think we should just use it, you know.
Yeah, I guess there's probably nothing much else we can do for him, but maybe try and give him like a tranquilizer and bind his legs as best we can, just to try and keep him going. But, yeah.
His breathing is laboured and short. So
Hey, hold on. Yes, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this.
gives a sort of half nod, but you get the impression that he kind of understands the condition he's in.
I just start saying like a prayer, the Lord's Prayer.
Rocky, you're still tearing around rooms upstairs. You get into like what must be like the master bedroom with the largest windows. And I mean, you have a lighter, so the lighter casts fair light into the room. And as you wave it across the room, there's like a shadow in the middle of the room. It's like just an orb, about just above head height, with long, almost like legs or arms or something hanging from it. It's that kind of shape. And as you move your light back and forth, the shadow doesn't move like it should. It should disappear in the light, and it doesn't. It seems almost like solid, like it's fixed in place.
Like there's just a hole in the light.
It's like a shadow, but it's a 3-dimensional object.
Please, give her back to me, please.
The thing doesn't move or make any noise. It's completely motionless.
What, you can't hear me? Give her back.
Imagine his voice is much more raised than he intends it to be, and the rest of you can probably hear him.
Yeah, no, I am not an okay boy. If it still doesn't seem to respond or even move, yeah, I'm gonna take my knife and try to slash it.
It's a shadow, it's immaterial. Your knife passes through it, but as your skin makes contact with it, your skin burns and melts as if it's been singed with acid. Extreme pain. Such that you drop your knife.
Yeah, no,
If Ball hears that from the terror hallway, he'd probably try and slam the door, which will probably just creep back open and run to Rocky.
Yeah, you slam it, but you slam it so hard it bounces open a little bit. And you run up the stairs, and Rocky's standing there in this master bedroom with this shadow in front of him.
He probably throws the padlock that's probably still in his hand at the shadow.
Passes through and smashes the large window on the far side of the room.
Rocky, the hell is that thing?
I I don't know, but it doesn't want anything. It doesn't listen.
You could try throwing alcohol at it.
Just break the other one.
Allow.
So you want to run
Not even
upstairs,
yet.
Gerta?
Oh, I'm just shouting because I can hear them.
I think Rocky's just in like this really weird, like, I just need to attack everything that's scaring me, and I'm just gonna like very ineffectively probably just wait, like swing my lighter at it and see if like maybe the fire will do something.
Okay,
Who
so
fucking knows?
with your left hand,
Yes.
one layer, you swing and burn your left hand through to the bone.
Fuck me.
Rocky's
Yeah,
still
in that
like
case,
basically crippled and can't hold things.
yeah, no, at this stage I'm just holding my bony fucking fingers now. It is just just in pain, freaking the fuck out.
Do you want to score something out so you don't go full insane?
Yeah, no, I think I think as I'm just like freaking the fuck out, I think I'm straight up just gonna score out Angela.
She's dead to me.
Well, I mean, she's gone. She's not. I mean, I think the realization of like the reality that I've been denying is finally just solidifying itself in my mind.
Hey, the marriage agreement was till death do us part. Shadow Monster is definitely death do us part.
So you see the scream of Rocky upstairs. Paul, you see his hand just... The flesh just is just like singed away as he passes through the shadow and he drops the lighter. It falls to the ground. Gerta and Eric are downstairs and Yen just breathes his last breath. And as he does so, Angela is standing behind the two of you. And you hear her voice as she just said, "At least he went peacefully."
What are you?
I'm Angela.
Are you a clone of Angela?
She gets down on her knees beside the two of you to look at poor Jane. And she's like, a clone? I'm not sure I know what that is. No, I'm not a clone.
And what's because I start to back off and I kind of nudge Eric to do the same.
Yeah,
She like strokes Yen and tries to close his eyes, which spring open again. And she takes one of the sheets nearby from off the table and just covers him with it. And then she kind of looks almost like as if she's in a daze around up at the ceiling and stuff. I told you we shouldn't come back here.
Eric, have you got those smelling salts?
sure. I'll pass them over.
What does the tranquilizer look like? Is there is it a needle in, a syringe, or is it a vial?
I was picturing more like just pills. You know.
I mean, you could have bought it in any form you wanted to buy it. So if you've seen it's pills, it'd be pills.
See, the smelling salts, are they in a sort of bottle, or are they
Yeah, they would be.
in a,
Or one of those little things that you snap so that they can, like a vial that you can smell. Angela kind of just gets to her feet and brushes her knees off and turns to you both. I think Rocky's in pain. We should go help him.
Sure.
Yeah.
She just turns and walks past the two of you.
Is she headed to where Rocky is?
Yeah, she walks back out into the hallway and then up the stairs. But at a very leisurely, controlled pace.
Do you want some smelling salts?
Maybe later. Is there anything, like, considering that we can see all the open doors and everything, is there anywhere that looks like a room that would have like a bar cabinet or anything where we could find liquor?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have like a drink study sort of room on the left hand side. There's also, like I said, the chemistry kind of room might have like sterilized, proper, pure alcohol.
Yeah, let's go. Do you want to go to the chemistry room?
Sure, yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea.
Is there any documents in there? Can I see?
Why you
There's
gonna roll? Do you have scene analysis?
No, but I have document
Do
analysis.
you have forensic analysis?
No, I have the occult.
Okay, so you have 1 dice to roll, and
Research and
you have 1 dice to roll, and if Eric wants to help, he can roll a dice as well.
what about
Sure.
intuition?
What? Sorry.
Intuition or understanding?
No. You could spend your
one-
last luck, Gerta, to make that 3 or 4 if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So there's various vials, beakers, I don't know what they're called. You know, the big glass orbs with the different pipes and stuff linking them together. All set up. A couple of them have like exploded, smashed, leaving glass lying about the place. The cupboards underneath are full of bowls and little tubs marked with different chemical compounds, and you will definitely be able to find a bottle of like pure rubbing alcohol.
Is there any?
As well, on the ground there is a dirty pamphlet. There's like a dirty footprint on it that somebody stepped on after they dropped it, which I will just share with you. Gertas and anyways. That is the pamphlet, and on the reverse side of the pamphlet there's a pamphlet, and on the reverse side there's some handwriting.
Q's 4 p.m. Buzzard? Was that the name of that doctor? Was it Hughes?
No.
Okay. Was it the name of the journalist guy?
No, it wasn't.
No, Priestley was the journalist.
Oh, yeah. Is there any other documents that are around? You know, like, is there anything that we can create a vial or something?
There's vials lying around, yeah. Let's say different chemical compounds, they'll be labelled with the chemical that they relate to.
Wait, Bossert was a hotel. One of the bodies we encountered had something on it from the hotel Bossert.
You also
Hughes
went to the
is
Buzzard Hotel.
Hughes is the guy that landlord guy, isn't it?
No.
Yeah?
Nope.
Oh, manager?
Nope.
Okay, let's look for a book of any sort that, you know, we can use some of these vials, do a sort of mixture and see what happens.
What, you're just going to start randomly putting chemicals together?
No, I'm looking for a book that has anything on
Right,
sort of
well, there was
chemistry.
chemistry books there, yes. But what are you trying to make?
trying to make well, basically because I think like Angela's evil and that guy that thing that's in the room something to get that to disperse as well.
Okay, but I mean, you don't know chemistry, so you would have to read the textbook quite thoroughly to try and
Okay.
determine how chemicals react to try and figure out what to put together in order to do that.
Right. I'm just gonna go on. I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna say, Eric, let's grab the alcohol balm. Let's grab some of these vials. Is there any sort of spell book? Can I see any sort of spell book?
No, there's no spell book. It's all science books.
Are there any of the chemicals that look kind of obviously corrosive? I mean, is there anything marked as like acid or anything like that?
I think I've just got the names of the chemicals. I mean, depending on what your character's education experience is, you might recognize some as being corrosive chemicals.
Yeah, I was probably hoping for like something that just had a skull and crossbones on it.
No, it wouldn't be as obvious as that. They've literally just got like handwritten labels on them with the name, or even just the shorthand of what the chemical compound is.
Let's not put any of those sort of vials on Angela, but maybe the alcohol balm stuff. But maybe at that creature, throw some of the vials at it.
I mean, I took the textbook that we found earlier on biochemistry. Could I have a look at that quickly to see if there's anything that like, if it like falls open at a page that's been well used or anything, or is it just a battered textbook?
The pages most kind of folded that would indicate use are sections about like paralyzing secretions.
Any port in the store, I suppose. Is there like an obvious formula for making something listed?
No, because it's more just like the study of the biochemical mechanism that goes into like producing these sort of things in insects and other animals.
Is there anything that we can, the alcohol balm? Is there anything that we can like, as in try and shoot it in her mouth area?
I mean, it's
that
just
can
a
sort of-
bottle of pure rubbing alcohol. There would be syringes, and you could fill a syringe, you could squish or inject a syringe of it, I suppose.
I guess maybe if one of us takes a syringe loaded with it and the other one takes the bottle, maybe.
Yeah, that seems.
So while you two are downstairs doing this, Angela walks up the stairs and calmly walks and comes up behind you, Paul, into the room with you and Rocky.
Uh-oh.
And you hear her behind you and she just says, "Rocky, are you okay? What have they done to you, my darling?" And she steps into the room.
Nope, not my Angela. You're not real. You're not her.
You sure that's not her, Rocky?
He's just scared, Paul. He doesn't understand. Not yet.
Not my Angela. Not my Angela. Real Angela's gone. She went missing. I'm trying to find her. You're not real.
I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble doing this, and he's gonna try and punch Angela.
You know what? There you go. If there was ever a reason to punch a woman.
So
I
you're...
was just-
There you go, Laura.
I was gonna ask, right? See how like she's got a cult, and I know that we talked about this, but is there any sort of like Swedish folklore, or that might be like a protection thing or something?
Not to my knowledge. I know you're desperate to use the occult stuff, Perhaps in the basement there would be more occult things. That's where they tend to be, yeah.
Yeah, just go down the stairway that has all the faces.
Paul, do you want to roll 1 dice for punching her, since you've got athletic?
He's also trained as well in combat.
Only one
Knock
trait
her the
counts
fuck
though,
out.
so it's just 1.
1 dice, okay.
Knock her the fuck out, Paul. Come on.
1d6.
I struck her out. She means nothing to me.
You punch
Okay.
her square in the face and she falls to the floor. Not backwards, just like crumples. You let's say a yelp
think
of pain as she does so.
See, Rocky.
But we've
All problems
I-
can get dealt with by force, and he looks really weird at his hand.
She's like
Eric.
holding her nose on the floor and she's like, "Ow, Rocky, why did you let him do that to me?"
Eric, we need the injection. I'm like pure filling up the injection. I'm like, come on, she's down on the floor. Best time.
Yeah, I guess we'll need to get up to where they are first.
Okay, so
Yeah, this is
you just jab syringes into the bottle and like draw out alcohol, I guess, and then run up the stairs with your syringes.
this can only end well.
Angela kind
Uh-oh.
of crawls on the floor away from Paul and Rocky in fright, holding her nose, which is bleeding.
Yeah, no, Rocky's gonna try to, like, with his ruined hands, is gonna try to, like, stand up and get to his feet, and he's, like, making his way towards the door, just... Oh, like, keeping Angela and the shadow thing in his view, but he is like, nope, fuck this, I'm out.
You step into the hall. I mean, your hands are bloody. They're not bleeding as such, because I guess it's kind of cauterized. But, you know, it's hideous to look at, and it's extremely painful for you. And the other two come running upstairs, syringes in hand, a little panicked. Angela
Just tiny little syringe weapons.
Angela crawls, you know, away from you, Paul, into the corner. She's like, "Please don't hurt me. I haven't done anything."
I think Paul will try and follow Rocky.
Just both go out into the hall. You're all in the hall upstairs now.
We need someone to hold her down so that she's like, so that we can both pierce both sides of her arm.
Don't look at me, I ain't got no hands.
Okay, so what are you doing?
Well, we're just Eric and I are just pushing her down.
Okay, so you're
Well, sorry. I was going to say, can we see if there's like the protrusion through her skin at all? Can we see like the thing underneath her skin?
I mean, she's fully clothed, so when you go in there, you know, you have to put her clothes back to see anything. I don't know if Rocky's told you about the protrusion even.
Oh, right, okay.
You just go in the room and she's in the corner holding her nose and she's like kind of half crying. She's like, "I didn't do anything."
Gert, are you sure we should be doing this? Is there nothing that we can do for her?
That's not Angela, it never was Angela.
I don't know. It's real blood, isn't it? It's bizarre. Maybe we should just throw the alcohol bomb on her.
Why do you keep calling it a BAM? I said it was a bottle.
Okay, I thought it was alcohol bomb. You said.
I said a bottle of rubbing alcohol.
I just thought it was I don't know what alcohol bomb is, but I just that's
You decided that's what it is.
yeah. Is that not what it is for like cuts and bruises? Alcohol bomb.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
the
know.
BAM is the thing that you pour the alcohol onto.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Maybe we should like, just offer some to her as a drink, you know, get a glass and see if she'll take it.
Pure alcohol.
Mm.
I mean,
You got that?
You might drink that in Tin City, Eric, but it's not good for you. Yeah, so she's in
Is
the
there any
corner.
coffee left?
I don't think so, no. You're in this cold, dark room. I mean, you don't have a light source lit just now, so you two can't see the shadow in the middle room. And she's just in the corner. She's pulling one of the sitting chairs in front of her to try and protect herself from the two of you, because she's obviously scared.
Yeah, well,
Maybe we should just back off in the room and just shut the room door.
There's no door.
Or maybe let's just go in the hall.
Okay, so you're all
I
back
think
in the
it's
hall
all-
again. Rocky is, he's whacked out. His hands are messed up. Like, you just don't know what happened to his hands.
Have you got any tranquilizers left, Rick, to give?
yeah, I think I would probably have bought like quite a decent size like bottle of pills or something. So I mean, I could like offer something to Rocky, sure. If you try one of these for the pain, what happened to your hands?
yeah, I don't know. There's something else in the middle of the room. This fucking shadow thing. I tried to slash it. I tried to do something to it, and it didn't move.
Right. Well, this is my suggestion. Okay, I think we should get out of here, and we've got the alcohol, and you've got like lighters and matches. I think we should just blow up this house.
The lighters. I dropped the lighter. It's in the room.
Does anyone have matches?
I'd probably have something left, maybe not many by this stage.
Well, if we can get like that, and then we can just like the house is made of wood, so you could just set fire to the house. Let's do it. We've got the alcohol bomb.
The alcohol. It's not a ban, we just discussed it.
Okay. We've got the alcohol. Okay, we've got the concentrated alcohol, and we could just like with the matches and just like burn it down.
What do we do about Angela, though?
You just look at each
She's
other
gonna-
with an uncomfortable decision on your shoulders.
Yeah. Rocky just like she's still in the corner, like she hasn't disappeared or nothing.
No, I mean, where's she got to go?
Oh yeah, sure, because that logic applies. Yeah, Rocky is just staring very hard at this Angela question mark. It's just like, where is she? What are you? Because you are not Angela.
You're still in the hall, aren't you, Paul?
Yeah,
So at the
I'm
end,
trying to follow Rocky.
at the end of the hallway is a window, and something sort of small person, child-sized, like at an angle, sort of like passes by the window.
We're on the first floor or second floor, right?
First floor, yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Paul wouldn't be stressed by this because he's probably running on pure adrenaline at the moment, and like he just saw a hall full of faces and a shadow that a log just passed through. It probably goes the opposite way from the window.
Rocky's just gonna continue to like shout at Angela, just like, what is this place? Where are we? What are you?
He just yells back at you with like fright and frustration, like, "I'm Angela, I've told you. Why are you shouting at me?" I don't know why
She
we're
needs-
here. You wanted us to come here.
She needs to take off her jacket. We need to see if she still has that thing.
There's a buzzing zzz, like flies. Just one or two at first, and then more and more of them coming up the stairs.
Oh,
Right.
they're coming up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we need to get out of here. I think the best thing to do is just take her with us and then just burn down this godforsaken house.
Fuck that, I'm out. I'm not grabbing her. That's not Angela.
But that's murder.
She's not Angela.
She's like,
There's
cry
been
like,
a murder.
I don't understand why you keep saying that.
Because a second ago you were acting like all this was fucking normal.
Don't know what you're talking about, Rocky. You're the one that wanted us to come here.
Because someone said that there was a person here who could get the thing that's inside of you out. And nobody's here.
We could try and get to the liquor cabinet. If Angela can drink liquor, then, presumably whatever's inside her would be neutralized.
Yeah, that's her decision. So we're just gonna say to her, like, if you don't drink this, we're we're not we're going without you.
But that's how Nancy died. You said
You
that's
just
how
got-
Nancy died. You said she drank and then it killed her.
You just gotta do it.
Because of look of utter desperation and hopelessness and pleading. But I don't want to die.
Back to stress one.
There must be something else. There must be another way.
The only way I can think is like that we take her to the hospital. You need to take the tranquilizers.
I can't take the tranquilizers.
You have to.
Why can't you?
I told you I remembered when they had that girl on the table. There wasn't any morphine. There wasn't any whiskey. They just cut her open because they wanted to keep it alive.
You need to take the tranquilizers.
But it will kill me.
It won't kill you. The alcohol would kill you. The tranquilizers won't kill you. Take the tranquilizers.
Looks at you again, Rocky. And she just looks lost. Just the buzzing of flies is constant now. There's a lot of them coming up from somewhere.
I think we can't wait here. I mean,
I think this is if you don't take the tranquilizers within the next second, we're leaving without you. I'm sorry.
well, Angela hasn't actually done anything to hurt us, so I don't know. Is it worth just trying to take her with us anyway? I mean, there's still way more of us, so she's only one person.
Yeah, but she said we a second ago too.
She just looks at you, almost incredulous, Rocky. I didn't say anything like that.
No, no, you're not real. You're lying.
Right, this is getting worse. Let's take her with us.
You've got my wife's fucking face. You are not my wife.
This really just upsets her, and she just erupts into a flood of tears. She just like she moves as if she's coming towards you, Gerta, to like just reach out for a hug.
I can't give her a hug. I'm just gonna say I'm really sorry. I can't hug you at the
Nah,
moment.
man, nah.
She just like looks across each of you as if like, won't anybody help me? And then just like falls to the floor on her knees again and just sobs.
I think like even though Rocky is for sure saying no, she's not real. Like just the fact that like there's a small voice in the back of his head that's like, it's so convincing. What if it is her? Like it is hurting him to just keep up this belief that it's not her.
Okay, okay, we believe you that it's you, but you have to see where we're coming from. Just now, we're feeling it's a bit sketchy at the moment. We need to get out of this house, and that's definitely so. Let's go. We have to go, guys. We have to go now.
Yeah, Rocky's just gonna turn and walk towards the stairs and just kind of batting away the flies with his useless hand.
Angela gets to her feet, sniffling and snobbing and wiping the tears from her eyes. You all going downstairs?
Yeah.
You go downstairs, that door under the stairs is like wide open and the flies are definitely coming from in there. It's not like a constant like cloud of them or anything like that, but just, you know, they're just, you know, coming in and out of it.
I still think we need to burn the house.
Of course, there's a very sweet, yeasty kind of smell, very strongly emanating from that doorway. And warm, sweaty, humid air.
You got the matches, Eric?
Okay, but I think we should like at least spread some liquor or something around to like get the fire going.
Yeah.
So you can go into the room, like I said, whether it be a drinks cabinet, take some alcohol out, smash those bottles on the ground, pour the alcohol, the pure alcohol you have around.
All of it.
Yeah, probably around some of the drier letters to get it going as well. And Paul, I mean, I don't know where you are at this point, but there's a moment where you thought you heard someone's voice coming from the door to the basement. Like a man's voice.
I have to imagine he'd probably pause and he'd wonder if it was, I can't remember her name. Laura, you played her in Edinburgh.
Mildred.
If it was Mildred's husband, and just stops in the spot and tries to listen to see if he can hear it again.
It's difficult to make out what it's saying because it's at a distance and it's kind of echoey, but it's definitely like a quiet man's voice just kind of like talking away to itself.
I think Paul, in his sort of kind of very weird mental state, would probably be pulled towards the door.
The faces on the wall are still there doing what they do. There's a lot of flies, it's kind of distracting, you have to swat your face. Although it's sickly and stinky and sweaty, I mean, it's so cold outside, it's kind of nice that it's the warm air. But, you know, with your limited light, it's hard to see what's down those stairs. But as you stand at the top of the stairs, you can definitely hear a kind of tired man's voice, and it's just talking away to itself.
I think there'd be a small part of Paul that's trying to pull him away from the stairs, and he's probably about to turn away to look before he hears something and decides to go down the stairs.
I don't know which of you, if any of you, after you're pouring out the alcohol and the rest of it, notice that Paul is either disappeared or in the stairway.
I feel like if anything, because Rocky's hands are fucking useless, so he's not really helping too much because he can't. But I feel like he'd probably be the first to notice. And just kind of turn around and just like, Paul.
The painkiller is
Paul,
also
get
like
back.
the painkiller is also like kicking in for Rocky, so it's numbing some of the extreme pain you're feeling, but it's also making you sort of a little dazed feeling.
Oh, that's lovely. That's the state of mind I want to be in.
Paul, snap out of it and get back here. There's nothing good down there.
Yeah, I think Rocky's gonna try to follow if he notices where Paul went.
I mean, to put this here for the lab earlier. Paul going down the stairs. I guess you're going with just like a match lit or something.
I think so, yeah, because he smokes cigarettes, so I imagine he's got like a wee match box or something like that he's just going down one light match at a time.
Yeah, taking your time, remembering before when you went into the basement and you fell through the stairs. So you're careful about how you put your weight on each of them as you descend. They're wooden and they creak, but they seem solid enough, and you make it down to the last step. And just cast from the light of the match, you can see the floor is like moving and squirming.
Oh, come on now.
Extremely moist down here. The ceiling's quite low, so being a big lad, you'd have to duck down slightly. And the ceiling is covered in these like sacks that are hanging from stalks that are maybe about as thick as your wrist. Just hundreds of them hanging from the ceiling. And the man's voice seems coming from behind the stairwell.
Sort of slowly doing this like one match at a time, which, I mean, that's what, like about 5 seconds per match of light, and darkness, the next light, darkness, the next, as he just slowly turns and follows the noise, somehow
You hear
weirdly entranced by it.
the man's voice just talking, repeating over and over again as if it's talking to itself and answering itself. And it's the most mundane kind of topics, the weather and, you know, what they're going to do today. And was it Thursday? What day is it? What year is it? What was I doing last Thursday? Was it breakfast? But also interspersing that with like what sounds like equations and mathematics and other sort of scientific subjects. You can see that there's a table and there's all these chemistry equipment, stuff like that. There's some papers lying on it, and then beside it is this very large, human-sized, pulsating, sickly, yellow, brownish-looking larvae with this small human face in the centre of it. And as it catches sight of the light, as you're approaching it, it stops talking to itself and looks at you with very soulful, human-looking blue eyes. In amongst this squirming, disgusting mess of a larva body it has. You can see like stalks of hair sticking out from its sort of flattened body, sort of rigid around the edges, like giving a very unnatural look. And as you're like pushing your head past these sacks hanging from the ceiling, they're also kind of like hairy, like wet rat hair. And as you touch them to push them aside to pass them, you can feel things squirming inside them.
So I'm just going to give myself a stress in this situation, because Paul is definitely like losing it, because my immediate reaction is he's probably going to call them like a friend that he had. It's like, come on, like I had blue eyes, like one of his friends that had blue eyes, and he just calls out to them, and it's just like, come on, it's pub time, we should go for a round. Like he's just he's gone. Like, he is just, like...
Lost it.
Yeah.
Did anyone follow him downstairs?
Yeah. Rocky kind of stumbled his way.
Okay. The first thing you notice, Rocky, is the floor is covered in, like, maggots, larvae, worms. It's kind of just squirming around. It's very uncomfortable. And everything else I described. Paul, as you say that, the face, like, stops talking to itself. Are you here?
Yeah, just here. We need to go to the pub. It's the time for the drinks. As he looks around, and is going, "Like, packet of crisps." As like our Rhines, and just sort of like he's like touching one of the sacks as if he's trying to take it off the wall, kind of thing.
The sack bursts, and this skinless rat, but it doesn't have rat eyes. It just has like stalks, like a slug or a snail does, where the eyes would be. Skinless rat pops out, squirms, and just flops to the ground and starts to immediately eat the larvae on the floor.
They've ran out of crisps. Come on, we need to go for a pint.
The figure seems just curious by your presence here. I think you're lost, my friend. You're not supposed to be here.
Is this not the world's end? He just laughs a little at his own joke.
Jesus.
And he looks at you and just goes, "You've gone mad."
Oh, we're all mad at the world's end.
Did you find the doorway too? How did you get here?
Opened a door, saw the faces.
The door
He
opened?
just sort of mumbles.
You're not Hughes. Are you here to steal my equipment?
Paul just giggles.
And then the voice turns as if it's talking to someone. And it says, "He's gone mad." Mad? They're all mad. Well, you can't just stand there all day. You must tell me. Where did they take it?
Did they take what?
I think
Another
that
one.
Snap. I think that would snap Paul out of it, just hearing Rocky.
Edwards, you bastard, it says to you, Rocky.
I'm not Edwards.
You can't fool me. I've seen your face 1,000,000 times. Is it not enough you've stolen it from me? Where did you take it? You know I can't leave here without it.
Take what?
My
I've
machine.
never even seen you.
My
Rocky,
machine.
where are we?
This whole house is just nothing but insanity.
Quite mad. I told you, quite mad. Well,
Paul, let's get out of here.
Did you bring me a specimen at least? It's been a while since I've had one, and it squirms forward, like up and over, down onto the ground, and you can see it's got all these grubby little hand feet that kind of protrude from the bottom of the skin.
Some sort of like human millipede thing.
Well, like, you know the legs you see, the back legs you see on a caterpillar? They're just like little stubby ones, but
Yeah.
they've got the very distinct, like, human fingers to them.
What are you? As obviously Paul's got a little bit of sense back in him.
I am the professor, of course. Don't pretend you don't know who I am, Hughes.
I'm no Hughes. Name's Paul, and whatever the hell you are, is a monstrosity.
I should never have let you in on my experiments. I knew you would turn on me, the both of you.
Tillinghast?
Yes.
Huh. That's great. We were looking for you for a long time. And of course, you're as insane as everything else I've seen today.
He squirms across the ground towards you, and the larvae on the floor seem to kind of like move aside to let him pass as he moves towards you. You can see that he's actually quite large and long. Something just about the way he moves is disgusting.
Jesus.
I mean, if you're not going to back away or anything, he's going to come right up to you, Paul, and rear up so his face is like level with yours. And you can smell that overwhelming, sickly, yeasty, gross smell. Just fills your nostrils, and it feels like almost it's going to clog them. And everything about his body is just like squirming and pulsating. Yes, a large specimen, this one. And somewhere behind you, Rocky, you can hear another one of the sacks kind of like pop open.
Specimen for what?
Immortality, my dear boy. Yes, this one will do. And he reaches out with a bunch of like tiny hands, arms that you didn't see before, Paul. Just like hundreds of, well, not hundreds of them, but maybe like 20, 30 of them either side of you, and they just wrap around you. They're very small and tiny and weak, but there's a lot of them.
I imagine as soon as he gets one hand free, another two grab him.
Just like a row of them on either side of his body extending out.
Well, ain't this a warm and gentle hug?
So what do you want to do?
Well, did you ever work with a man named Cavendish?
His hands holding Paul, and he like reaches up to top of Paul's head and starts to like examine your eyes and your jaw. So yes, this one will do.
What do you want with me?
Laura's laughing in the other room.
Like,
Yeah,
I heard a meow coming from back. I was pretty sure it wasn't Laura, but it could have been.
Yeah, he seems to kind of almost ignore you, Rocky.
I could see that it wasn't me.
And he's like, well, somebody did meow behind me a second ago. But yes,
Yeah, no.
he does
Rocky's
motion to
gonna-
you, Rocky, and he goes, Edwards, prepare the machine.
yeah, I'm just going to like stomp my foot and shout at him like, "Hey, I'm talking to you."
Turns to face you. You're not Edwards.
Did you work with a man named Cavendish?
He lets go of Paul and squirms his way over to you. Cavendish? No. Is he after my work too? Who are you, Bo? Why are you here? How did you get in?
We just stumbled in here.
Impossible.
Why is it not possible?
You can't just enter in here. You need the machine.
What machine?
Don't be coy with me. You're here to steal it.
With what? These useless hands?
I'm not going to let you, either of you. And he like squirms backwards into the corner of the room and starts to emit like a high-pitched whine. You can see the sacks in the ceiling all vibrating in unison.
Oh, to hell with everything that has ever been involved with all of this. to hell with you and these fucking sacks and whatever you put inside my wife and Cavendish and Hughes and Edwards and the lot of you. Whatever that door goes.
The sacks start to pop, one, then the other, then 2 and 4 at a time. And each time a skinless, rat-like creature with eyes and stalks falls through the floor and starts to writhe around in the maggots.
Yeah, unless something stops him, Rocky's just gonna try to stomp his way back towards the stairs and just leaves. Anger, just completely overwhelming fear.
The worm professor just starts yelling, "Thieves! You won't get away, thieves! It's mine! It's mine!"
Go to hell with you and your fucking machine.
How close is Paul to the worm thing?
I mean, you got pretty close to him to see him, so I mean, you're only a few feet away. You can still see the desk with the papers on it as well.
I guess Paul will have a moment of clarity. Tried to punch the worm thing.
Okay, roll a dice for me. Because he's had enough.
To be fair.
And I'm using 2 luck on that.
God, it must be nice to still have luck.
You punch it square in the face, breaking its nose, and it lets out an anguished gurgle, and it slides like up and away to the side and down, behind the chair it was sitting on, and into this large crevice in the bottom of the wall.
Probably Paul sort of like his hand throbbing with a very hard punch. Try to grab the papers and get out. Follow Rocky's lead.
Yeah, you turn around, the things that popped out of the sacks are like gorging themselves in these larvae, and they're pulsating and growing in size with each mouthful. The first one that came out is already the size of a small dog.
I imagine on my way to the stairs, there's probably like a fresh one that just popped, lands like in front of him.
Yeah,
And Rocky just kicks the fucking thing.
Yeah.
No mercy, he's done, he's out. He just kicks it and gets up the stairs.
Boots out of the way, grabs the stairs, and just hammers your way up the stairs, stamping your feet as fast as you can. Paul is like shortly behind you, clutching the papers. He just gets upstairs, and the others are standing in the hallway still, wondering what the fuck yous were doing going down there in the first place.
Yeah, Rocky just stomps his way up out of the doorway, still swearing, still cursing, everything. It's just like, to just burn it all down. Fuck everything.
Eric, get the matches, start burning. Throwing the matches.
I think once Paul and Rocky are out of the doorway, I think we'll just like close the door behind them and put the padlock on it before we set fire going.
The padlock's
outside.
Yeah, he threw it out the window.
All right.
Do you want to run around the other side of the house and grab the padlock out of the snow?
Fuck that, there's things out there.
Yeah, I think I would probably just shove the door closed in that case. I'm probably not thinking clearly enough to run out and get it anyway.
You did have that pen, you could jam the pen in the latch to try and hold it closed.
Yeah, okay, I'll try that.
Sure, you jam that in, you run, and just as you're running past, Gert has already got the matchbox fully lit, tosses it past you, and it strikes the alcohol on the ground, and the whole thing just goes up into flames. The letters all catch fire, and the alcohol and the rugs all start catching fire. And you just run out of the house into the snow. As you run outside, you know, there's only your tracks coming up here when you entered the building, but you can see there's like handprints, as if something's been walking on its hands around the building several times.
Let's run to the van, like, no.
Yeah,
Let's
if it's
not
still
look
there.
around. Let's not even look around to investigate. Let's run.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess we should get away as quickly as we can.
If you have athletics, you can roll a dice. Or athletic, I should say.
Hey.
Oh, Gerta.
Oh shit.
Oh, damn, why?
Oh, I actually do have athletics.
So much happens to me at the end of things. Oh my god.
Oh, damn.
Oh, it's okay, Eric's with you. Yeah,
I'm
Paul,
fucking out.
Paul and Rocky
Yeah,
are off.
Me and Paul are
hate
just
the
fucking off.
I hate both of you because you're just like, I need to investigate the back in this basement, and we're like, let's get the hell out of here. And we're like,
So Gerta and Eric, yous are running, and yous are probably just not as athletic, and you're trying to push your way through the thick snow after them. You two find yourselves lagging behind those two, and as you turn around, just curiosity, look at the house burning behind you. There's this very tall figure. It's about the height of the first floor. Two very long, thin, stilt-like legs. A small body of a naked, pale child with two long, scything talons protruding from where its arms would be. And just a mouth where the head is.
Oh, lovely.
So if you could both take a stress for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, that's fair.
It does not give chase. It motions like it's coming towards you, but then it turns back to the flaming house and enters it. But you two just caught sight of it as you're running away. He's run down the hill, falling through the snow almost, back to the town where the car is sat. It's been turned around, the lights are on, the engine is running.
What are we doing with her?
With who?
Did Angela make it along with us?
Angela ran with you, Sierra.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, she's ran with you. She's shivering and cold and, upset and scared and confused and all the rest of it, but she's with you. You run up to the running truck, but there's no one in the driver's seat.
Fuck's sakes. It's just straight up turned around. Does it look like it drove that way or just was there?
Well, someone's turned around. The truck driver's side window has been smashed and there's blood all over the glass.
Okay, can you examine the seats and everything to see if there's anything there?
You can see Michael's cigarette still lit on the floor of the driver's seat. And there is some blood, on the windscreen from the interior.
Any tracks of something running off or away or towards the truck, I guess?
Tiny childlike handprints in the snow.
Fuck everything about this, dude.
Who's driving?
I ain't got no fucking hands. I am useless.
I guess it's either me or Paul, I don't know. Well, I don't know, can Gerta drive? I can't actually remember.
I think Gerta could drive because of the
Gerta's like, I'm going to drive. Let's get out of here. Okay, yeah, after a couple of false gears, you get it in the right gear and you just take off.
Right. I think it's best that she gets tied up in the back.
Angela's like, I haven't done anything. Why are you treating me this way? Rocky, why have you been so mean to me? But yeah, you just take off in the truck down the road, back out of that town, back to Jersey City. And that's where we'll stop tonight.
Oh my god.
Goodness.
That was pretty wild.
You mean that's not the end? What the fuck, bro?
So much spooky.
That was intenso.
Oh, that's not the ending.
Why? What?
I blame
Could
Paul.
there be?
I blame Paul for wanting to go down the basement.
Dude, what is with the letters?
I will progress the story regardless what you say, Laura.
So, Paul, you grabbed Tillingham's journal. Let me just. Are you going to share that with everyone?
Yes.
Share this with everyone.
I imagine someone like makes a comment because in his hand of like a white death grip is just this whack of notes and paper.
Can I
Dude,
read
I
it?
was for sure.
Show to players. You should see on your screen.
Oh, what the fuck? I knew it.
Oh, creepy.
What on earth does this even mean?
Do you want to share the pamphlet you found with the other two?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well.
All players. Show to players.
I'm just thinking Hans, the Brooklyn Society for Ethical Culture, because he joined a group.
And on the reverse of the pamphlet, there's a handwritten note.
Yeah.
Hughes,
To go to
4 p.m.
Bosworth. I feel like if she's like cured or something, like she's gonna be wanting a divorce from you, Rocky.
I mean, to be fair. Yeah.
That was a really good session. I actually felt really creeped out.
Dude, there was like fucking like just one after another. Every fucking revelation was putting ice in my veins. Like, bro, give me a breather.
Yeah, that went some places.
What's with the letters?
What letters? Oh, the letters from different time periods. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the one addressed to fucking Paul from Gerda talking about, fucking Rocky dying.
Yeah,
What is this?
bizarre.
Sounds legit.
Oh my god, I have so many questions and none of them are gonna get answered. I know it.
I think the scariness of the fact like we didn't expect that to be like an empty house thing. Like we expected it to be something like, remember when we went to that island?
Yeah.
Yeah, we expected there was going to be some sort of housekeeper with the dodgy tea.
Yeah, I thought for sure, like, at the very least, Tillinghast would have been like, oh yeah, sure, I'll help you out, but I'm actually still a bad guy. Just a different kind.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. I thought like he
But the
was
fact that, like,
it was bad.
yeah, the fact that the house and the whole town was just abandoned and empty, like, that was just fucking heart-dropping, like...
Well, I think it's because like he obviously used the whole town as like his specimens, didn't he? His specimens.
I mean, maybe, who fucking knows? And also, just, like, there's so many weird things, like, the door that even led to the basement had a padlock on it, but it wasn't even closed, it was just hanging there. And where, like, the letters that are from, like, the future, maybe?
Or
and even just the contents of the letters, just talking about, like, vacations and shit. Like, what on earth?
or the shadows, that shadow that was like at the corner. We just never know what that is.
Yeah. Or whatever fucking happened to Jens and the phone call that Jens had with Eric.
Yeah, that was so creepy.
Oh my god, there's so many questions.
I was really trying to second guess it to see if there was anything I could have done for like, because I knew that was going to lead to a bad outcome with phone call, but I was trying to think, is there anything I can do about this?
I have this pure sneaky suspicion that if we do go back to the gas station, that Jens is at the gas station.
Well, here's the thing, Eric. I mean, you got a phone call from a Jens, and then a Jens came back through the door. But where's the other Jens?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, jeez.
The Yens that went into the doorway, yeah. Did we get the same one, or did we get a different one, or who fucking knows?
Yeah, he's gone though. Like rest in peace.
Except for our very cruel, game master over here.
Yeah, that was like yeah, I didn't expect most of that. I was like,
I thought for sure this was gonna be the end.
yeah, I thought this was gonna be the end and then we'd be driving back. Then what's called Angela would then just like start sprouting out or something, well, all these sort of tentacles or
I
something.
think you've just got it in for poor Angela. She's not done anything.
Oh, you don't get to say that.
got the parasite in her. She's got the thing in
And
her.
she was fucking talking all creepy and weird, and then she just disappeared.
I mean, you're saying she was talking all creepy and weird and disappeared, but you've also gone temporarily insane, what, 2 times, 3 times?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm as fit as a fiddle. Never mind that I'm currently still sitting right back at 4 stress.
And then you appear like screaming back at her, "You're not my wife," and all that. And she's
you-
like, "Why are you saying it to me?"
I don't know how you feel like 4 stress.
I don't know. Well, because you said every time you get scared by something, roll a stress die, so I got scared a lot.
I suppose you saw like more than we saw, so.
Dude, I was terrified that like the thing was gonna just burst out of Angela, or I would have to like stab Angela or something. Like, oh my god.
Would that
Is
not have been
everything.
easier though, because it'd been more cathartic?
Probably, but like also still terrible, and now this is just somehow worse.
I have a feeling as well that maybe the thing is out of Angela. Maybe that house kind of gave her like, and it just like disposed of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything. This
Well,
is...
you scored her out now, so she's definitely, it's not a happy ending for Angela.
No, for sure. There is no happy ending here.
Matter
shit,
of perspective.
According to the letter from Gerda, fucking if that's from like, the future, I'm dying either way.
Yeah, but that's dated 11
That
years
might-
from now.
That might not even be like a real letter. Might be like the figment of our imaginations, just to get us all wound up.
I mean, it was a real
It
physical
works.
layer.
Yeah, but it might have just been like in that house, and it was just like we thought we saw letters, and we.
Yeah, you
maybe
tell yourself that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is all just a dream. Angela's not real, and God hates us.
Maybe the
just
letter
feel
is
like
just one
really,
possible outcome.
This would be really, really weird. We go to the gas station, and it's like 1980 or something like that, and like they're all like looking at us because the way we're like all dressed and everything. They're like, dude, get a haircut.
Oh, I doubt it. That would somehow be less weird than everything else that's been happening.
That would be bizarre. I really did think that it was going to be Mildred's husband that was in the basement, because I was just like, oh Jesus, the vaults.
Well, there may be other basements.
Yeah.
There's always a
No.
basement.
No.
I hate the basements.
But you all seem so keen to go into them.
I don't like to go into them. I hand people flashlights to go in
Oh,
on my behalf.
I don't.
Oh yeah, we know you don't. We know you don't go to the basement. Here's a flashlight. You go on and check it out.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't shove Garrick downstairs after those two. Like, you got to help him, Eric.
Well,
You're gonna do my duty.
I loved how Eric was like, "We're both gonna do this. We're both gonna stick the alcohol injections into her," because like I was like, "I'll fill up the injection."
Well, I mean, I figured Gerta just didn't want to be on her own at any point, and that's why she kept him around.
Well,
I mean, fair.
Well, apparently she has like a romantic relationship with him. So who knows about that? Is it sheer trauma or something?
Well, it's not necessarily romantic. It's because
Yeah, just
she's looking after him because of his condition.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all.
yeah.
Maybe
But
a
what's
good...
more ominous, the fact that you have a condition, or the fact that yeah, I'm sorry to hear about Rocky. We can't. Sucks that we can't make it to his fucking funeral. Cool, I'm dead, I guess.
Oh, it might just be one possible future. It's not necessarily the de facto future.
Dude, seriously, the moment you started, like, you read out the letter, I had to stand up and just pace around my room because I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, my head was just spinning around.
I feel like sometimes you take it to another level with this.
Well, I would
Sometimes
hope so.
I'm really scared now. I'm like, where's the blanket? Where's the blanket to hide the head? Need to hide the cover.
Well, I mean, that's
go
the
under
desired
covers.
effect.
Yeah,
So if at least one person's getting that, then I've done something right.
Right, yeah. I really feel like we just fucking fumbled into something that we know nothing about. Like, we had very little information that was bringing us to Tillinghast in the first place, and then, like, we get here, there's, like, just nothing for us.
I mean, the way yous were doing things, I was like, geez, this is going to be like Paul going up here himself with a bunch of NPCs.
I thought as well that was so funny was like every time you'd have like Angela coming out of like nowhere to behind like two of us. It was like a wee bit unnerving. She was like standing there like, hello. We're like, "Ooh."
Yeah, and just how nonchalant, and how not just nonchalant, like la 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 la. Things are totally normal.
I have to ask this, right?
Uh-huh.
See if I'd have hugged Angela, would something have happened?
Why would you think that?
Oh, for sure.
Angela hasn't done anything to anyone.
I just fucking.
She hurt my knuckles.
Yeah, Paul fucking smacked her in the face. This petite woman who's gone through a traumatic experience, and he's like smacking her in the face just because he's freaking out.
To be fair, whenever I get spooked, like my first initial reaction is to just throw hands at whatever's spooking me. So,
Well, you won't be throwing hands at anything anymore.
too soon.
Right.
God, the fact that it's not the end and I don't have hands, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm freaking out.
Yeah, so Cam's not here for the next one. I don't know what to do about that. I'll figure something out.
Yeah, it's not great.
We'll either do one with you three, like maybe a smaller one or something. I mean, these haven't been very long sessions anyway. Where you just kind of gather your senses and figure out where you're going, what you're doing.
Yeah, that's a good joke. Gather our senses.
There's still some things that are like left. Like we've got the Hughes thing, and then we've also got the guy from like the funeral as well. that paid for the funeral that we need to go and speak to as well, because he had no face. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can gather your thoughts and figure out what you want to do and do a little bit of digging. And then the week after, or the session after when Calum's back, we can do like the finale when you confront whatever it is that you need to confront.
Yeah,
Sounds
when
good
we
to
all
me.
die.
Yeah.
Well, according to the letter, you all survive, so
Oh, yes. Always a positive.
optimistic.
Right.
At least
well,
until 11 years.
I'm gonna head now.
Yeah, I need to
but
go feed
good
this
game,
cat. She's going
everyone.
nuts.
Yeah. Catch you all later.
Yeah.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, cheers.
Ciao.